All right, so that was crazy, very intense. Let me show you what their final result is. I came across this ad from a medspa near my area. When I clicked on the ad, I was redirected to a landing page. I realized that this website was actually built on HighLevel, and I came up with the idea of redoing this landing page in 60 minutes and see how far I can get. So you want to make sure you stick to the end of the video so you see the final result. Now the question that you might be having right now is, how do I know that this website was built on HighLevel? And I have this tool builtwith.com. What you can do is copy a URL, paste it there, click lookup, and it will show you what tool this website was built on. And now you see here that the website was built on Lead Connector and HighLevel. So I know that I'm going to be using the same tools that they did in order to build their website, but I'm only giving myself 60 minutes. So we'll see how far we can get. My name's Rico. I run a high-level web design agency. I help SaaSpreneurs and business owners build better websites that get them more clients. If you click the link in the description, you'll see the resources and the templates that I use to help business owners using HighLevel. Right now it's 5:10, so I'm giving myself 1 hour to rebuild this landing page, make it better, and we'll see what I can do in the next 1 hour. There's a lot of things that I would change. At a first glance, what I'm seeing is that the main value prop is down here and it's kind of on the side. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to put like the survey up here, but without much context, it's a little bit like not enticing enough as a user to go ahead and start this. Color choice is not great. You can even see that this button right here, it really looks like off, and this is by no means a disrespect on the agency owner or the person that built this website for the medspa right here, but it's more of a critique that hopefully today, if you're watching this video, you can take away so that you can build better websites on HighLevel. One thing that they forgot to do is they forgot to add a thumbnail right here as well. I see that there's different pain points right here. They're not even lined up. So that is something that I will show you how to do on HighLevel as well to make sure these are lined up, regardless of how long or how short each of the paragraphs are. I see that they have a bunch of different videos here, but the thumbnails seem to not be working. They didn't set these up properly. I do like this. It adds a bit of social proof. Maybe I would add some reviews as well. Overall, there are things that we are going to change. Again, I'm giving myself 1 hour. I started recording a little bit earlier. So let me just go back to HighLevel and I'll start by building a funnel from scratch. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and create from blank. And the reason why is that when I'm trying to create websites, I like to have a lot more flexibility and I want to have full control over the process. And I'll make iterations as I go and you'll see the process live. But yeah, that's kind of like what I like to do. As a first step, if you go back to this funnel right here, we'll add a section. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the survey with the value prop. So I'm going to have a value prop up here, and I'll show you a website that I actually did so you see the idea. Now, this website that you see I did for a client not too long ago, you see that the value prop is right here. There's a video. In this case, I don't have a video for the medspa, so we won't be able to add it in the background, but that's kind of like the idea that I'm going for. So let me go back to my HighLevel right here, start with a full width section. What we're going to do is we'll do a one column, we'll do a headline, and here what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and copy this value prop right here. I'm going to paste it here. And now what I'm going to do now is I do want to add some more space. And the way that I would do that is I would click this right here. And then in the padding section here, I would start playing around. Right now, let's say I did 100. Maybe that's not enough. Let's do 140, even 200. And then for the bottom one, I'll do the same, 200. Now that looks like a solid base to start. Now, before we start adding elements, changing colors and whatnot, I want you to take a look at their actual website. So you see that this is their actual website. Their colors are white and black. It gives me more of a minimalistic look. So compared to the funnel that this agency did for them, there's kind of like a brand disconnect. So if I am a potential client and I see that their actual website looks a certain way and their landing page looks a different way, it's not that great in terms of the consistency and just making sure that you get more clients to book. What I'll do is following their brand, I'll do black and white, and then we'll keep it simple for the purpose of this video. Again, I only have 1 hour. So if you stick to the end of this video, you'll see what I'm able to do in the next, I guess now, 40 minutes. So let me go back here. The next thing that I want to do is change the font. I have a few fonts that I usually go to for a header. What I'm going to do now is I click here on typography, and for the headline rather, I would go with one that I like a lot is this one right here. So it's just like a tall font. It's great for headers, and for content, I will just do Montserrat. It's one that I like. Something that I am noticing right now is that you see that the font is too squashed together. So we're going to make it so that it's not as squashed. And the way to do this on HighLevel is to click on the headline. And then where you see here letter spacing, you can do normal, 1, 2, 3. So for instance, if you did -1, it would be even more squished. But for this specific website, I want to do 1 pixel apart, make it a little bit more spaced out and easier to read. I'm also going to go ahead and increase the font size of this. So I'll start with, let's say, 60. That's a bit too big. So let's do 50. Something that I want to do is I want to just actually go ahead and emphasize this right here. So what I'll do is I'll actually go ahead and bold just that specific section. And I'll click on this, then go to the colors right here, and I'll play around with the colors. So what I'll do is select the color. Let me go ahead and select the color here. Let's play around, find something that is fitting for this page. I did notice that they were using a purple, so maybe we'll use something along those same lines. Let's say we do use that one. And yeah, I like that one. That's pretty good. The reason why I did this for this right here is I want to give a few accents of color in the funnel. And at the same time, I want to make sure I emphasize on the main benefit, which in this case would be revitalize your skin. Actually, what I'll do is I'll take all of this and make it bold, just like this. And something else that I'll do is I'll make it so that this is a little bit more in the center. So we'll play around with the margins right here. Let's do for padding, let's do 60 and then 60 on the other side as well. Okay, so that looks a little bit more center. And what's cool is I have the one that's purple on the top, the text that's purple, and then the black one right here. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add another section, and that's where I'm going to go ahead and add my survey. We'll do a 1 column row. We'll add a survey here. And what I've done ahead of time is I've created a survey, but basically what that would look like is on the survey, you'd be able to create one just like this. This is just a test. So I'm just going to go ahead and select the one that I've just created, survey 0. And you see that that has loaded right here. Let's see what else would I want to add. I would add another section for width. And then if I go back to what they were doing here, and they have 2 sections here. I know they have a video on this right-hand side and a button with a text right here. I'm not sure why the thumbnail doesn't work, but I'll show you how to get this going on HighLevel. And anyways, you see now that it plays. But so for now, let me just go ahead and add a 2-column row right here. And on this one, we'll do a video. Since I don't have the video, what I'll do is add an image. And what I'll do is I'll add the screenshot that I took of the video. So it'll just be this one, let's say. So you get the idea. This is not perfect. This is just a quick overview, but it's more so that you see my design process and how do I start building websites. First, I like to start with the main structure. Maybe this is something that I should have said a little bit earlier, but I like to start with the main general structure and then start making design changes, add all the cool effects and cool tricks that I've shown you in previous videos. Here, what I'm going to do is I'll add a button. But what I'll also do is right above it, I will add a headline. Then actually I want the headline to be like this. I want to play around with this, see if I can make it like this. Nope, that's too much. Here, what I want to do actually is I want to add a button. So what I'll do now, and the trick that I usually do to make sure that my buttons are consistent, is I'll take some time to customize this button, make it exactly how I want it to be. And then all I'll have to do is duplicate that button and paste it below. So let me just do that, show you what that would look like. So in this case, they had an offer that is claimed their complimentary test. So I'll just do apply for complimentary for the color of the actual button, I'll match it with the accent right here. We want to make sure that we're consistent. I did notice that the previous one is not cohesive and it's not flowing nicely. So we'll just make sure that it's a bit more cohesive, more minimalistic, following their actual website, as I mentioned earlier. Something else that I want to do is I want to go ahead and add some round corners to these buttons right here. So let me just go ahead and do it right now and show you how I would do it. So I would just go down here in border. I will do full border. I would make the color transparent. And for the edges, I would actually go ahead and select, let's say 15. And let's actually do 25. Okay, that looks better. Something that I am noticing is that the button's too close to this. So let me go ahead and add some space underneath this text right here. I would do maybe, let's say 20, and that looks better. What I do want to add though is a sub headline here, providing more detail as to what the offer is. And I'll go back to the page right here and copy this, paste it here. And now you see that for longer text, this font is not as nice. So what I'll do is I'll actually go ahead and change the typography type here to content. Since I've already set them up here, I know that Montserrat will be my content font and Faja 1, or yeah, I don't even know how to pronounce this, will be my headline font. So let me actually go ahead and add more space in here underneath as well. So I'll just do 20 at the bottom. And you see that it's starting to take place. It looks a little bit nicer. I do want to add some borders to this as well. So let me just go ahead and click 60. And then here 60 as well. Just make sure that it's a little bit more centered and it flows smoothly. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to go ahead and preview what I have right now. It's already 5:31. So I only have half an hour to finish the rest of the website. We'll see how far we go. Okay, so this is what we have so far. A little bit more clean just off the get-go. A lot of the times when designing websites on HighLevel, less is more. I know we can do a lot of things and people like to go crazy, but I want to make sure that I'm creating a design that is not only good for the business image, but also helps them convert. Let me go back, continue editing this right here. Now that I have this button here, what I'll do is I'll actually go ahead and duplicate it and then kind of drag it down below to here and replace this here. I will actually add some margin here. I will do 20. And then here, this is a bit too long. What I'll do is I'll actually go ahead and just say claim or apply now. Let me actually play around with the font for the button. Let me see if the content form makes more sense. Yeah, I do like that one. Let me go down here. Then for this one, I will do the same. Something else that you can do on HighLevel is if you wanted to capitalize all of this, instead of you having to rewrite this, you can go to advanced, and then for text transform, you can select uppercase, and then all of it will be in capital letters. I tend to choose this font for headlines just because when you capitalize it, it makes it look very nice. It's just a preference that I have. So let me actually go ahead and save. Now what I'll do is I will click this right here, copy this, paste it here. And what I'll do is, again, I'll go to advanced, make it uppercase. Again, I want to play around with the accents. So I want to make sure that I only bold what I want to bold. And I go ahead and set up the colors accordingly here. Okay, so it's starting to look very clean, very nice. A lot more simpler than what we had before. Under this section, add a 3-column section where we'll add the icons and the text and show you how we can center them. And now what we'll also do is add these guys right here and make sure that they are all lined up. So let me go ahead and click this here. Actually, what I see that these guys did is that they did a image feature. So let me just go ahead and do that right now. So image feature. So what you can do is you can simply just duplicate this guy twice. So it'll be 2 and it'll be 3 right here. Now let me start copying and pasting this here. Copy, paste this here, and do the same for the other ones. Now that I've added them, Let me change the colors before I show you how to center them. Now, in order to make these guys line up regardless of the length of the paragraph, what I'm actually gonna do is click on the column, and then in the general tab right here, when you see this right here in column layout, you'll click the content spacing and make it left. And then you'll do the same for all of the other columns, and then you'll see what I mean. You see now this one lines up actually, and we'll do the same for this one. Now, as you see, they line up a lot better. I don't have the actual icon, so let me just go ahead and add some default ones for now. Okay, so let me just go ahead and add it right here. And again, it's just going to be a test one because I don't have that much time, so I had to do one on the fly. Click this one here. And a trick to be able to copy images is to just literally copy the link and then go to the element where you want to go ahead and put it and then paste it instead of having to browse on the image library again. Now, something that I'm seeing that we can do to make this better is to change the color of a section. So actually what I'll do is instead of having this in the same section, I'll actually spread it in two sections, and you'll see what I mean in just a sec. So let me go ahead and take this row and drag it to the section that is right below it, and it'll make sense in just a sec. Okay, so now what I'll actually do is select this row. For the background color, I'll click this right here, and I'll have to change the text on the button to make sure we can see them. So for this section, this will be white, and the button will flip the colors. So the actual button will be white, but the color of the text will be of the purple shade, and we'll give it a lot more space so it looks nicer and cleaner. Let's do 60, let's do even more, let's do 140. And let's do 140 at the bottom as well. What we can do is, if we don't want to center this, we can click the column right here. And for the actual alignment right here, we can go ahead and select this right here and do start, and it'll be on this side as well. I just want to see how those guys have it. They do have it here, but I guess in my case, I actually want to keep it in the center. I do want to make this a little bit bigger. So let's just do 40 for this one. I want to make it so that this button, when I actually hover over it, it moves so that it's a bit more interactive. So the way to do that is under button effects on the advanced tab. When you click on the button, you go ahead and click one of these ones. A lot of them are overdone and it's just too much, and it looks kind of like just cheap. So you'll see like this one starts moving, like it's just not professional in my opinion. But the one that I like to use a lot is this elevate when you hover over it. So you'll see that when I hover, the button goes up. So that one is one that I actually like using. Maybe I could even do the same here. If I wanted to play around with the fonts, make them a little bit smaller, I could do that right here. I do want to see what this looks like. So let me just go ahead and preview it. And so I have my main page right here. I have this right here, and I have this as well. Maybe what I'll add is add the logo right here. What I'll do actually is I'll add another section will be the header. So full width section, put it at the top. And then now, since I have that section up there, I might add a image. So let me just go ahead and add the image, then add the logo of this medspa in here. It's a bit too big. So for the width, I'm actually gonna go ahead and make it 100. Maybe that's too small. Let's do it 200. Maybe 150 in between. I always suggest for you to play around with the width, because with the height, it'll do weird things when you're in mobile. Just go ahead and remove some of the space in here. Set this to 100 and hit save. See how that is looking like. Let me go ahead and preview. What I'll do is I'll make this header a bit bigger as well. So just go ahead and click this. Let's do 55, and this is 22. And then the font for this one is 20. For this one, let's say I wanted to make it 45, a bit bigger. I only have 10 minutes left, so I don't have that much time to finish, but I'm just trying very hard to just rush through this challenge and see how much I can get done. Something cool that I noticed they had on their website, which I'm actually gonna go ahead and implement here, is they show the different areas that they treated, and I'll just show you how I do it very quickly. So I'll add a full width. I'll do a 3-row column. Actually, I'll do a 1 column right above, and then what I'll do is here I'll add a headline. I want to make sure it's the same height. So this is 45. So here I'll do 45 as well. Here we'll do area street. Let me actually do it a different way. I'll add an element, which will be a image, and then I'll add a text right below, be a subheadline. So it'll be like this. Duplicate this image just like this 2 times, and you'll see why in just a sec. This I'll do 200, then 200 as well. Now, something that I'm going to do is cool is that I'm going to make it so that when you hover over this, the color will change. So let me just go ahead and do it. 5 minutes. So let me click here, copy this right here, go back to here, and then add it here, just like this. And I want to make it so that when I hover the mouse over it, color will change, the background color will change. I have this Notion resource board that helps me build better websites on HighLevel, and I have one specifically for background changes. I think it's this one right here. So let me just go ahead and copy that right here as well. Let me copy this, paste it here. And the color that I want to use is the purple ones, which is this one right here. I'll do this right like this. Then I'll make it so that it hovers out of it smoothly as well. Let me get rid of this. Save. Now you'll see, I actually did it for the image. So you'll see how when I hover my mouse, the image changes color very nicely. I'll go ahead and preview and show you what that looks like. You see that when I hover my mouse over the different parts, it makes it a little bit more interactive so that it's more engaging with your clients. I have 4 minutes, so at least I'll make sure that the buttons link to the right place. So what we'll do is we'll make it so that in the general, the action will be scroll to the element, and the element that I actually want to go ahead and go is the survey, which is right here. And I'll do the same for this button right here. I'll make it so that it goes to the survey. So let me just go ahead and scroll to element. Then it's the survey we have here. Save. Something else that I would do right now is give it a little bit more space here. So let me just go ahead and do 80 or 100 even, and then 100 at the bottom as well. Let's go ahead and add in the last minute another section with an image. So let me just go ahead and do 2 columns, add an image right here. And then I will make it so that it's click this one right here. Let's click another one. Let's do this one right here. About our clinic. And we'll make it of the purple color that we picked earlier, like this. Now, something cool that I like to do sometimes, and I'll show you this little trick, is add a divider, but style it in a way that is very, very cool. So let me just click here. So what I like to do is I like to do 10%. I like to do of the same color of the header. And then you see how it adds like a very nice effect. Something nice. I don't know how to explain it. It's just something that I like. Sometimes what I do is I even put it at the top right here. So it's just as a nice touch. What you can do is make it wider if you want, just like this. It's safe. And the last section, I know it's 6:02, so I started at 5:10. So I want to give myself until 6:10 is to add a section where they can learn more about the person that's going to help them. So let's just do that right now very quickly. I'll do it right below here. So in case they're not sure still, there's this other section where they'll learn who they're going to be treated by. So on this side, we'll do an image. And on this side, we'll do a subheadline as well as a text. So a paragraph. Now this one, let's make it 16 to start out. And if it's too small, we'll do it 22. Here we'll add the image of the esthetician. Here we just put a fake name. Just do Jenny. Then we'll just do this. Maybe add different paragraphs, and we'll pretend that this is the actual legit information. I'll do it like this. And then something that I'll do is add a button there as well. So I'll just click this one, duplicate it, and then bring it all the way to the bottom of the screen again. Add it here. And what I'll do is give it some more space as well. So I'll do it so that it has a margin of 20. And I'll make it so that it's left aligned. and then change the text to book now. A cool trick that I like to do is at the end of a paragraph leading up to a button, I like to do a last sentence. So what I'll do is, let's say we just add this right here. What I like to do is add it of the same color of the button. So it's kind of like very seamless. So click the paragraph, and then for the bold, we want to make sure that we do this right here. Sometimes even what I like to do is combine it with italics. So you'll see what I mean in just a sec. I have 4 minutes left. Maybe this image is a bit too big. I'll do 400. Okay, let me actually go ahead and add a footer because that's one thing I do not have. So let's just add a fake footer very quickly. In this case, let's add um, a subheadline. So we'll do 1, 2, 3. Pine Street is a bit too big, and I don't even like that font. So we'll do a content font for all of them, and we'll make it a bit smaller. That's way too big. We'll do, let's say, 14. Here we'll add a logo. So we'll just do image again. And we'll add the image of the medspa. So let's just click this. And I'm gonna get rid of this. Actually, I want to redesign this footer altogether. So what I'll do is I'll take this, guys, and move them here just like this. And then make this a bit smaller, maybe 150. Yeah, that looks more like it. Save. Okay, it's looking time. What time is it? Okay, 6:10. That is 1 hour. All right, so that was crazy, very intense. Just designing nonstop, trying to do my best. I'll show you what I was able to do in 60 minutes. And then after I show you that design, I'll show you my final one once I actually spend more time to try to make it better. So let me show you what I was able to come up with in 60 minutes. So you see, we have a very minimalistic but very clear section here. We have this section here. Then we have this right here. We also have about our clinic, a few images. Again, the main purpose is we want to make sure that when a potential customer goes into this landing page coming from a Facebook ad, so it's going to be a stranger. It's going to be somebody that might not know this clinic. So we want to make sure that we provide enough information of the location, of the technicians doing the job, so that they can picture themselves on that clinic. They know that it's legit, and they can picture themselves with their desired outcome. See, we have this hovering as I go to different images. This is the survey. Maybe I would have played around with the survey styling a bit more. And then we have this right here. Again, this is a section where the clinic or the med spa might have a chance to present themselves, their staff, so that it builds trust with the potential customer. And then last, we have a small footer right here with more information. So anyways, that's what I was able to do in 60 minutes. I'll work a bit more on the funnel, try to make it better, and then I'll show you what the final version looks like. All right, so I did a bit more work on the funnel. This is by no means perfect, but I just wanted to show you what I would do in order to make the funnel that we had better. So we started with this, as you can see, a bit outdated. There's not as much coherence. The user interface is not as good as it could be. And we ended with this right here. Minimal, simple, and it's a lot more intuitive. Just making a few tweaks like this for their pages would help them convert even more clients and get more bookings. So you see that this is the header that I have right now. The value prop, very clear, different colors, and very on brand with their actual website. Call out to the specific area again to make sure that they feel that they're identifying with the offer. Then I had this section right here, which is again, kind of like working on the subconscious of their mind. Like, are you ready to get started? So ready to get rid of unwanted hair. So for a potential customer that was facing this problem, I'll be like, yes, count me in. Go ahead and click and get taken to the survey. Now you notice that as I hover my mouse over this section, the color changes. I use the code from my Notion doc right here. So again, if you want to get the exact tools and the exact resource that I use for making better websites on HighLevel, and click the link in the description. What I would also do is put the image of a person right here to make sure that the potential customer identifies with them and gets closer to the desired outcome, which would be getting rid of unwanted hair. You see that this is a better way that I would put the video, so about the treatment, and then have that information on video here with a call to action as well. And then these icons right here, make sure that they're lined up as opposed to here where they were a little bit more messy and there was not enough spacing. So again, the key is to give a lot of space, make sure it's easy to read and that the UI and UX are very cohesive. But the clinic, just adding more stuff, kind of like guiding the user through the page, show that the clinic is legit and that they're able to build trust so that they book. Then I added this cool thing right here, very interactive, just to see, okay, what areas do we actually treat? So again, trying to make them subconsciously get even more convinced. And then finally, we have the survey right here. If they're still not sure, I added this section where it would be like, hi, my name is da da da. This is more about me, about the business. And then I added this here. Something that could have been added as well would be like some testimonials right underneath this section right here. So that is how I build better websites on HighLevel, and more specifically what I would do to fix the landing page of this medspa. Now, again, if you are a business or an agency that runs on HighLevel, if you want to take a look at the templates that I offer, you can go to my website on the link in the video description. I have a few templates for HighLevel depending on your needs. And what's cool as well is that I have this Notion resource board that helps me build better websites on HighLevel. It's going to be a bunch of examples, training, code snippets that you can use to make sure you take your HighLevel website to the next level. With that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.